Hi everyone. The question is, let AB be a sector of a circle with center O and radius D. Angle AOB is equal to theta, which is less than pi by 2, and D be a point on OA such that BD is perpendicular to OA. Let E be the midpoint of BD and F be a point on the arc AB such that EF is parallel to OA. Then the ratio of the length of the arc AF to the length of the arc AB is, and we have to choose the correct option. If you see carefully, this is the situation where you have AOB as the sector, with O is the center of the circle or center of the sector, whatever you may want to say. Here D is such a point on OA such that BD is perpendicular to OA, is the midpoint of BD, and you have EF parallel to OA, and since E is the midpoint, ED is equal to BE, and clearly FE is parallel to OA. That's what as per the question is. Yeah, so let me join O and F, and let me call this angle to be phi. Now what we want is a ratio of length of the arc AF to the length of the arc AB. So clearly this ratio would be what? It will be a ratio of phi with theta. Since OA is parallel to EF, if this angle is phi, that means angle AOF is phi, then angle OFE would also be phi. So if I can get phi, then when I take its ratio with theta, that's what I want, because ultimately length of arc AF would be what? Phi d, where d is the radius, and length of arc AB would be theta d, where again d is the radius. So the ratio is essentially phi by theta. Let me call this intersecting point to be, let's say, C. Then I can see that sine phi is equal to, it is CE by CF. Now CF is essentially equal to, you may say, OF minus OC. So OF is essentially the radius d, and what about OC? So you may say here OC is essentially, you can say OD sec phi, and OD is essentially what? OD is essentially d cos theta. So what you have is d times 1 minus cos theta. So OD is d cos theta. So this essentially becomes what? D cos theta times sec phi is what OC is. So you get d times 1 minus cos theta sec phi. Now what about CE? So CE is essentially, you can say CE is essentially, you can have ED minus CD. ED is essentially half of BD. Why? Because E is the midpoint of BD, and you have minus CD. Now what is BD? BD is essentially, if you see carefully, D sine theta, considering triangle OBD. And what about CD? CD is essentially, you have, again considering first triangle OBD, you have D cos theta, which gives you OD tan phi, so that you get CD. OD is D cos theta, and since this angle is phi, you get CD to be D cos theta tan phi. So here C is essentially half times BD minus CD. So you have D times sine theta whole divided by 2 minus cos theta tan phi. Yeah. So here you can say sine phi is what? CE by CF. So what is sine phi? Sine phi is CE by CF. So here D cancels out, and what you get is sine theta by 2 minus cos theta tan phi divided by 1 minus cos theta sec phi. So here you have sine phi minus cos theta sec phi. Sin phi is what? Cos theta tan phi is equal to sine theta by 2 minus cos theta tan phi. So this cos theta tan phi cancels out, and what you get is sine phi is sine theta whole divided by 2. So that means phi is what? Phi is sine inverse sine of theta by 2, and you have divided by theta. So this is what we wanted. D is the answer. Thanks for listening.